Need for Speed Underground wasn't just a successful game, it was a deliberate shift, one that changed what Need for Speed was and what it could be. Before Underground, Need for Speed was about supercars, high speed, and cinematic action. After Underground, it shifted towards style and personality. And what made the Underground series unique wasn't just tuning, neon lights, or the soundtracks. It was how every part of the game worked together towards creating one great idea. This was Need for Speed rebuilt and reimagined from the ground up. So let's talk about what exactly made this game so special. By the early 2000s, Need for Speed was beginning to face a problem. The games weren't bad, but they were starting to look alike. Fast cars, exotic locations, police chases, stuff that's already familiar and expected. Underground didn't try to outdo the past games. It walked away from them entirely. No Ferraris, no Lamborghinis, no European supercar fantasy. Instead, Underground focused on street cars. Cars that people knew, cars that people modified, and cars that people actually owned in real life. This wasn't a limitation, it was a statement. Need for Speed stopped asking, how fast can this car go? Instead, it started asking, what does this car say about you? Underground's progression wasn't just about unlocking performance mods or cars, it was about being seen. You earned reputation, you unlocked sponsorships, your car became a visual resume. Winning races mattered, but looking stylish while doing it mattered too. Customization wasn't optional, it was part of the progression. And that's important, because Underground understood something early on. Players don't just want to win races, they want to belong and look the part. Underground's handling wasn't realistic or even challenging by any means, and it wasn't trying to be. The cars felt light, responsive, forgiving, and floaty. You could slide without losing control, recover from mistakes easier, push hard and drive dirty without any punishment. Many people saw this as a step backwards, but Underground wanted players to feel that main character confidence instead of real-life precision. Underground's physics did not demand any advanced mastery or skills, but instead they encouraged expression. Nitrous existed in racing games before Underground, but Underground changed what it felt like. Nitrous wasn't subtle, it wasn't realistic. Instead, it was explosive. The screen blurred, the sound hit harder, the moment felt more dramatic. Nitrous wasn't just a speed boost, it was a turning point. It switched straightaways into moments, mistakes into recoveries, close races into highlight reels. Underground understood that racing games weren't just about motion, they're about moments worth remembering. Underground didn't just add new content, it expanded the definition of racing itself. Drag races weren't about cornering or track knowledge. They were about timing, rhythm, and restraint. You miss a shift, you lose momentum. Over rev, and you blow your engine. Wrong lane, and your car is totaled. Drag racing wasn't just about driving in a straight line where the fastest car wins. You had to think and react almost as much as in the circuit race. Drift mode also flipped the switch. Losing traction wasn't failure, it was the goal. Style mattered more than efficiency, commitment mattered more than lap time. It wasn't realistic, but it was very expressive. Underground didn't ask players to drive perfectly, it asked them to drive confidently and with style. Underground didn't succeed in isolation. It launched at the perfect moment when car culture exploded into mainstream. Early Fast and Furious movies had redefined street racing aesthetics. Import cars and mods became the trend. Tuner era wasn't niche anymore, it was everywhere. But Underground didn't just chase mainstream, it aligned with it and dictated its own trends. The music, the visuals, the attitude, it all felt current. Not timeless, but current. And that made it resonate with the fans. Need for Speed Underground worked because it knew what it wanted to be. It didn't try to appeal to everyone at once, it didn't try to be everything at once. It tried to be something specific and make a strong, unique impression. And it succeeded to do just that. Later games would refine it, some would dilute it, and some would struggle to recapture it. But Underground proved something important. When a racing game has clear identity, players definitely feel it, even more than 2 decades later. Need for Speed Underground wasn't perfect, but it was intentional. It had personality, innovation, and emotion. And that's why it still stands out. Not because it was louder, not because it was faster, Definitely not because it was more realistic, it does so because it knew exactly what it wanted to be. And maybe that kind of clarity is rarer than we realize. Now, if you grew up playing this legendary racing game, let me know down in the comments what made it so memorable for you. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you in the next one.